Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Am I Doing This Wrong? We are here and I'm still Morgan.
We are. I know. We're trying to figure out if we still need to introduce ourselves like, appropriately.
Yeah.
It's the same people. I'll let you know if we change.
We'll just swap someone out. Then we'll let you guys know. But it's just the two of us hosting. And so if you need a reminder, I don't know. Check out a previous episode. We say it more there.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, how was your week?
So this week it's been a fucking week, and it's only Wednesday. So I will say that I am trying to be more like in touch with how I'm actually feeling. This is not brought on by my own accord. This is definitely pushed by my therapist. She wants me to check in more with my, day-to-day feelings. And so I will say, instead of, saying like, oh yeah, it's been good, like it's been tough, but it's been good. I've been feeling very inadequate this week. There's been a lot of like weird, like situations where I've just felt very inadequate, more so than usual, I would say. Every day, like I always have my normal insecurities, but I feel like this week, for whatever reason, I've just felt just at a loss for like, why am I doing the things that I'm doing?
Were you asking yourself why you're doing things wrong? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, kind of. I'm always asking that question, which is appropriate because it's not, well, I guess I usually ask, am I doing this wrong? But this week I was asking like, what am I doing? Or like, why am I doing? It was more of like a why this week.
Oh, that's tough. Those are tough questions. Those are tough questions on the day-to-day.
No, exactly. Which is what I am trying to get away from, and what my therapist kind of wants me to get away from is like, just identify the feelings. Don't always worry about the why behind, what's coming up for you, because it might be more than one reason, which it probably is.
Sure.
So anyways, I say that to say, yeah, it's been a tough week as far as mentally, I would say. But if you were just looking at my week, it hasn't been a bad week.
Lucky.
October.
I'll tell you about mine in a minute.
Yeah, no, please do. I mean, I don't want.
Tell me about October. I need some good vibes coming my way. I'll let you know why in a minute.
Well, yeah, okay. Well,
the anticipation. Yeah. We got to build up the anticipation. Keep the listeners tuned in. Come on.
Very true. So yeah, I think October is a fun month because I like spooky season. I even have like some like dark eye, eye situation going on with my makeup. It's very spooky. You don't have to approve. It's spooky.
It's spooky. Terrifying. It's terrifying. If anyone saw Ryan's face right now, they'd agree with me.
Fits right in with the month. So yeah. But I will say I'm working on getting in a better space, but right now it's been a week, and I am actually excited to get into some conversation to get my mind off of things.
Oh, good. Well, yeah. I don't know if today's topic is going to make you feel much better. But anyway, just a quick recap. I had food poisoning this weekend. So it literally. Yeah. So
damn, that's like the ultimate betrayal. Your food poisoning you.
I know it was all my fault. There's no one else to blame. Just a restaurant I ordered from. I didn't cook, so never going there again, but that's fine. I also got jury duty, so that's fun.
Damn.
Yeah. And then apparently there's a recall on one of the parts of my car. It's the emergency exit for the trunk. So thank goodness I've never been, kidnapped in my own car or anything. So I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. It is only Wednesday. That's interesting.
I am sorry. Ugh, that's fucked.
I know.
I mean, I will say, I do like when parts get recalled on a car, because usually they have to give you a rental. So you get to kind of like,
it's nothing that I can't drive with. But I guess I could maybe like throw a fuss and be like, I can't go to the gas station. What if someone snatches me up and throws me in my own trunk? I can't get out.
Exactly.
You're gonna have a lawsuit on your hands. I don't know. That's not really my style. I'm just saying and it's not the newest car. So I don't know. And what happened for them to find out that this part needed to be recalled? You know?
Oh, that's a good one. I know.
I might need to get on Google and see what's going on.
Yeah, on top of all the crime podcasts that you already listen to, I don't recommend that. So Google search.
Fair enough. So yeah, I'm sure not everyone came here to listen to us bang on about our problems or my intestinal problems. But we do have an episode today that is going to make you roll your eyes, cringe a little bit, but just hang in there because we're all going to agree. So prepare to be nodding your head a lot and maybe wondering if you are doing things that drive people crazy as well, because we are talking about pet peeves. All right. So that shit that just really bothers you, that someone does, it's something that bothers you every single time. So I looked it up, of course we want to know exactly what the topic is about, or however you want to put that. But like I said, a particular thing that bugs you every time, for example, like how people misuse words. It's an annoyance. A pet peeve is an annoyance that's like a nurtured pet. It's something that someone can never resist complaining about. So I felt like that was kind of the main point of the definition, which is true, because if it's something, you don't ignore it for anyone. I don't care how much you love that person.
Right.
That thing will make you stop in your tracks.
Right, exactly. It can be as simple, like your reaction can be as simple as like an eye roll, right? Or just like a deep sigh, which Morgan takes these really deep breaths and and you know what? I get it now. She says that they're just, to like release or whatever, which it's good. I try it all the time. But it's just always so timely when she does it. Like, it's just these deep sighs. And I'm like, what did I do now? Did I did I hit my spoon on a bowl? Did I say a word wrong? Like, I go through her pet peeves because that's how well we know each other.
Right. And
am I naked? What am I doing?
Right. And I'm not one to just roll my eyes if someone does something that bothers me. I will get up and make a scene. I'm so fucking dramatic. Calm down, Morgan. So
it's okay. She's only 5 foot nothing, so her getting up and making a scene doesn't really change from her sitting down.
Right. They're like, shut up, bitch.
I had to. That's another pet peeve because she hates when people talk about her height. But anyway.
I mean, it is what it is. Something I can't change. So when people comment on it, I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay, what do you want me to do about it? So.
Spin. They want you to spin, Morgan.
Oh my God, my cousin brought that up at her daughter's birthday with my whole family there. So that was fun.
Yes. So that means that we have another listener, that she's listening to the podcast. I love that.
Yes.
So if you
shout out to Ariel. Thank you so much for that. Spreading the word, maybe not in the right setting, but I love you and thank you so much.
Yes, exactly. The fact that spinner is something that multiple people have contacted us about, it's a rite of passage. I feel like it's like, so you listened long enough into the episode to find out what a spinner is. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go back and listen to one of our episodes on body hair.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about common pet peeves. I just jotted down a few that were interesting. Of course, there's a ton and they can be subjective, but let's go down the list and let me know, Ryann, if you think any of these drive you crazy. So loud chewing or people chewing with their mouth open.
I will say no. I think this is something that I rejected at a young age because there was always someone telling me not to do that. And so I think from a young age, I just always was like, whatever, like I'm eating. I don't know what you want me to do.
It's because Ryann was loud chewing. Okay, let's move on to the next one. People who don't cover their mouths when they cough or sneeze.
Yes.
I mean, we're in the pandemic now, so like that is a no-no. If you cough with a mask on at the grocery store, everyone stops and looks at you. So I feel like this one might be on its way out.
Maybe, but I will say that I've seen people sneeze in public. Like,
I've had someone sneeze in my mouth. Jose, I'm talking to you, motherfucker. Yeah, Pride 2019 or wherever we were.
No, not 2019. It had to have been like
2018.
I mean, we went like a lot.
Yeah, we went a few times, but just right in my mouth. We're dancing. It's fun. And I look at Jose and I'm like, woo! And he just sneezes right in my mouth.
So what Morgan is leaving out is that she was being a pet peeve by being a woo girl. she was just wooing all over the floor. Woo, woo, woo. And she was so excited. And she wanted to share that with our fellow woo girl, Jose. And he was not prepared.
I wasn't prepared. I don't know. Either way, that's a horrible memory I have. So thank you so much. Yes. Okay, people who eat food off of your plate without asking first. This wouldn't bother Ryann either because I know she would take food off of my plate and I would be like, I'd stab her with a fork or something.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't do it to yours anymore because I know how psycho you are about it. I'm like, okay, Morgan, have your 13 hash brown pieces. Like, even though she probably won't eat it anyway, but you have to leave it. You have to leave it, apparently.
I know. I'm not a big leftovers person either. So I know that's got to really get trans. Maybe, your pet peeves are just deriving from my like pet peeves. Maybe that's what exactly. Is. We're just stuck in a loop. We're just stuck in a cycle.
Yeah, one of my pet peeves is when people don't finish their food or take it home with them, or they feel bad. They're like, oh no, I don't need to take it. And I'm like, but no, I mean need, right? But should you? Yes, of course you should. You should take it home.
I don't mean to be wasteful, but if I know I'm not going to eat it or it's something that won't keep, then I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm off base here. So
we'll have to have a discussion about that one.
I know. Yeah, we're gonna have a fight about it offline later. So okay, this one I think will piss you off. People who walk slowly or stop suddenly in the middle of like a walkway.
Oh fuck, I hate that shit.
Right.
I hate it. Hate it.
Right.
It's honestly that is one of the things, and I think it's because like when you're on a like a sidewalk or a busy street or something like that, it's similar to driving, right? Like you stopping unexpectedly and then not like dealing with the consequences and just kind of like freezing up and like making everyone around you deal with your bullshit. Yeah, it speaks to a larger issue of not being aware of yourself.
Right.
Like you need to be aware of your surroundings.
Right. Have a little forethought. If you're going to stop, like just pull over. Over.
Exactly.
Yeah, it drives me nuts too. So this one, I know we're both going to agree. People who don't know how to get through airport security. Oh. Like, why?
Why is it so? Okay, so yes, this is a huge one because when people go into the airport, it's like they forget that you are going to have to take off your shoes, your belt, anything with metal. Like that is just, it's well known. There's signs everywhere. Nobody's surprising you like, surprise, we want your fucking shoes. No, like wear socks or wear sandals or do whatever you need to do to make it a smooth transition. If you are the person that's like, holding up the line, like having to like check your pockets for chump change. First of all, it is 2021. Why do you have loose change in your pocket still? Okay. Like, unless you are a grandpa that is visiting their kid on Thanksgiving, which even more so because Thanksgiving is one of the busiest times in the airport, like ditch the pocket change. Okay. Like do something about it, figure it out before you get there. Nobody wants to watch you like, oh, let me take off my wristwatch. Like, no, sir, and do this before.
Yes. And then you have like 15 seconds on the other side to get your shit and move. So if you're like picking up, like 75 cents in change out of your bucket. Like, fucking A, you're holding up the line.
Yeah, and it's all pennies, of course. It's just all pennies.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And they're all loose in there. Like, yeah, it's a fucking mess, and it drives me insane.
It does. Picking up your stuff after you get checked, like after you go through the scanner, is very similar to leaving a hookup, right? Like you need to have all your things ready to go. You need to know what you're about to do, where your shoes are, get them out from under the bed. Like you need to know exactly what you're doing. You have to make this as quick as possible. Nobody needs to see this.
Or leave it. Leave it. You don't need the 75 cents. You don't need that pair of underwear. Maybe, you know what I mean? Go back to Victoria's Secret. Get yourself a new one. Treat yourself. Like, go. Just leave it and go. Hilarious. Leave it and go.
Yeah. Leave it as a keepsake.
Right. TSA would like, you know, cool 75 pennies. I don't know. So
a cool 75.
A cool 75 pennies. So this one, you know, I'm gonna hate, and you might, I don't know, people who groom themselves in public or like on public transportation.
No, I'm probably that person. I've definitely like not plucked my eyebrows because I rarely do that because I just don't keep up my body hair. Wink, wink to our last episodes. But well, give me an example. Like, what would you say that you've seen and you're like, what are you doing?
Okay, so I think when people are like brushing their hair, like if you're riding the bus and someone's just brushing their hair, I don't love that. But I think when people are like picking their skin and stuff, when you know that they're going to be touching, like, it's already dirty enough place out there, and I don't know, I feel like nobody washes their hands, but you know what I mean? I don't want to see that. That really, that's grosses me
okay out. Yes, it is gross. I do think that a lot of times when I even see people doing personal grooming, I just almost automatically like look away and just kind of ignore it. But I do think that when I see it, it does make me ignore it for a reason, you know, because it's not a pet peeve, I would say, but it is something that I immediately like, oh, that's not something that should be done in public, I guess. And so I don't want to see it.
Well, that's a good reaction, because I feel like I watch them the whole time after that. And I just want to know everything they touch and everything I have to avoid until I'm out of their space. So, you know, I'm like trying to get off the bus or the subway or something, like, you know, arms tucked in, like, no, thank you. So I like your approach better. I might have to try that out.
Yeah.
Oh, I left this one on here. When people go to irrational lengths to keep their middle name a secret.
Ooh, that's so interesting and so.
Oh, really? Really? Is it Ryann Asteroid Perkins?
That's fucked up. Even the second time. That's a deep cut. Cut me real deep just then. Okay, you know what? Let's get into it, okay? Because it wasn't that I was keeping my middle name a secret, but it was only because, and this is just the reality of where we grew up. We grew up in a very white, fucking racist ass place, and my first name, as it were, was already like a talking point for every fucking Jimmy Door, because every name was so fucking easy to pronounce in our school. It was just an excuse for everyone to just be like, oh, Ryann, like what's the middle name? I can't imagine. So I will say I was very, very insecure about my middle name in high school, like days and before that. It kind of came from middle school because I remember somebody found out my middle name, which first of all, I love my middle name, Ryann Amira Perkins. It sounds great together.
Yes.
Also, I have a new last name. Sorry, honey. Anyways, but point being... But point being, it came from a place of insecurity. It wasn't that I wasn't like one of those people that was just like, oh no, like I'll never tell, haha. It really was just like something in high school that just kind of stuck weird because I didn't want to be bullied. I was trying to escape the claws of high school. And I mean, we all did things
to try and fit in high school, so that's fair. I just had to call her out because she put asteroid at graduation, and so that's what was said, which was hilarious over the microphone of the stage with tons of people there. It was funny. So
it was
good. It was good.
I was also high out of my mind, which was fun. They had to like wake me up. I remember like the girl who's sitting next to me had to like nudge me. She was like, "It's our row. Like we're standing up." I was like, "Oh shit."
Hey, okay. Asteroid, come on. Our time.
Thought you were faster than this.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk a little bit about where pet peeves come from, and we can keep it short and get back into some more funny stuff.
Okay.
So they are triggered by emotions. So either irritation or disgust, which, yes, that makes sense from most of our examples. But there are three main ones, and there are some three reasons on why they come about. So probably the number one example of a pet peeve, nails on a chalkboard. We've all heard it. We've all said it. And this actually comes back to like a safety thing. Like, you know, early humans, when they heard a sound at night, or it was kind of related to monkeys, and I won't give you guys all the boring scientific details, but they would make a high frequency sound that's similar to scraping on a blackboard. And this would be like a warning sign, you know, protect yourself. And so that was an interesting aspect. This one, which I don't like it, I don't know if Ryann likes it, but the word moist. Moist. I'll just say it one more time for everyone cringing in the car, listening, driving on their way to work. Moist.
She really puts the emphasis on that S, moist.
I know, you should see how.
Yeah, I think it's more than the word. It's just what happens to your neck when you say it, like moist, and everything gets kind of tight and like.
So that's exactly why. You are exactly on point with the reason.
Oh, wow.
So words that create like a lot of saliva and like tongue movement make us more aware of when we say them. And so it creates something called word aversion. And so you kind of get this self-conscious feeling, because, you know, we could have a conversation all day, but then if you say a word like that, then you become more self-aware, and it kind of makes you, you know, feel a certain type of way. And so I thought that was interesting, right?
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. And it totally, it totally goes with one of your pet peeves, which is like light touch or like light talkers. But it totally makes sense, right? Because that, to like, not just to you, I'm sure to a lot of people, basically one of Morgan's pet peeves is
yes, explain to the people what a light touch person is.
Yes, let's explain. So to my understanding, I'm sure Morgan will have like her caveats, but to my understanding, a light touch person is like, if you've ever worked in customer service, this is my best example. If you've ever given someone like their change, like say they're paying with like cash, so it's, you know, 2007, and they're paying with cash, and when you go to like give them their dollars, instead of like either putting their hand out to kind of grab the money or just grabbing the money with like their full fist, they like use like their middle and thumb finger to like pull it away from you, or like they just use like three fingers. It's almost as if like they're drifting away and they've just like couldn't quite grab it, but they're not going anywhere.
It's wispy. It's like a wispy action.
It is a wispy action.
I feel like it's a non-committal action. Like I want you to be in it. Like, do you want this change back or not? I will put it back in the register, sir. Like, I don't know. I think these are just my impression.
Yeah, these are the same people with the loose change at the TSA. Like, get it together. You didn't want the change from Starbucks. Give the Starbucks baristas a tip and pass through TSA. It helps everything. You see, they all connect.
They do. Yeah, moral of the story, we hate loose change.
Spoken like true millennials.
I know, right?
That's hilarious.
So yeah, I was gonna ask, can you think of any other words that kind of like have that cringiness? Like, I was trying to think of some. Can you think of anything off the top of your head? What do you think?
So the word like anesthesia, like I don't like that word. It's also hard to pronounce.
It is, yeah.
But that anesthesia, like the TH with the S on top of it, it's like anesthesia. I don't know. That really bugs me. I feel like the only type of person who says it is like somebody that's trying to be like smart about it. Like, oh yeah, they give you anesthetic, and it's like, don't say it.
If you're not watching the YouTube, Ryann like said that with like a little shoulder pop, and it's like, okay, we know exactly the kind of person who's going to say anesthetic. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah, it's Jose. He's a nurse.
It is Jose. Right. And then he'll say it to us like we're supposed to know what he's talking about.
Right.
Look at us like we're idiots. Yes, it's a whole. He's done it before. It was fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jose is our pet peeve.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's a good example. I was thinking like cunnilingus.
Oh, well, all right. I mean, I guess it's not that bad because I don't mind the action.
I don't mind the action. I mean, I would like something to be moist, but I don't want to say it.
So what do you want? Yeah, it's wet down there. It's wet ass pussy. Oh, WAP. Oh. You just want WAP. That's what you want.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
A lot easier on the tongue, literally.
We'll be giving out instructions at the end of the episode. Stay tuned.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, so the last one was slimy foods, which Ryann and I are not opposed to this. I don't think. I have a few things that I'm weird about, like that I'm super weird about, but I can eat oysters. Like I like sushi. I love mushrooms. Those were some of the examples. But mayonnaise, get away from me. That's fucking gross.
Even house-made, like when they make it with like fresh ingredients. Oh, good mayo.
I just can't. My dad will make a sandwich and then lick the mayonnaise off the spoon and I have to like run away. It's foul to me.
Oh, that's a crime against humanity.
Yeah. And that's really gross to me. Soggy bread is gross, but I don't know if anyone's eating that intentionally. So I don't know if that would like fall into.
You lived in the UK. You know people are eating soggy bread intentionally.
But I think that one kind of has a cultural element to it because if you grew up eating certain things, then it's really not going to give you that same aversion. So that one's a little bit more subjective.
That's true. And I will say for, folks living in the United States, right? Northern America, parts of Northern America, we did not, depending on where you lived, obviously, but we did not grow up with a lot of, if you're talking about just generic, like white American culture, like there's not a lot of like variety or seasoning in the dishes. And so a lot of textures come from different cultures, right?
Right.
And so I feel like this one, that one is a little bit skewed. And sometimes it definitely has like a negative connotation as far as like I've heard a lot of people say like, oh, like texture in food is weird. I'm like, first of all, everything doesn't need to be a burger. Okay. Everything doesn't need to be burnt or, like pressed or any, you know what I mean? Like texture does add a different
it can have
element.
more spice on it than just salt and pepper.
Yeah.
It's out there. It's out there, people. Right. Give it a whirl.
So yes, but I definitely understand. I think I understand where the texture thing comes from. That's definitely a pet peeve of like, I've noticed that, especially growing up and like eating different types of food. I've noticed that I've seen people kind of like, oh, that's so weird. It's like slimy. And I'm like, is it weird because it's slimy or are you just not used to it? Right. Things are acquired, right? Like I didn't always love oysters, I'm sure. I didn't always love mushrooms, but like they were acquired over time. I got used to the texture.
Right. So. But you tried them. Yeah. Yeah. So those are some of the, whys of the pet peeve area. So let's jump back into some more fun little topics. Sexual pet peeves. Ooh. So these were a lot more subjective. I couldn't just find one article, one source, which of course, like we always say, sources will be in the show notes, but I couldn't find just one. So I just jumped around and was really looking for some common themes that I found. So let's talk about a few of them. Okay. So no kissing after going down on each other.
I call bullshit.
I mean, some people do it.
No,
or don't do bullshit. It, or
well, yeah, but I call bullshit because okay, fine, I'll give it to the people. Fine, if you don't want to kiss after going down, I just feel like I guess it does depend on the situation, but again, that for me, just, from my perspective, has come from like a very misogynistic place a lot of times. Like I've
Yeah.
heard a lot of guys in conversation say like, yeah, I'm not going to kiss her after she sucks my dick. Like, first of all, you should be kissing her fucking feet after she sucks your dick, okay? Because chances are that you don't shake very well and that you probably don't wipe very well. So unless you're like fresh out of the shower and then she's sucking your dick, you need to be very thankful that somebody has gotten down there, okay? Because let's just
Amen.
be real. I mean, yeah, can I get an amen?
Yeah.
I'm just that's where my mind goes. However, I will say, obviously it depends, right? So if you're talking about just a random hookup or something like that, but that's the thing, right? If your mouth is going to be able to touch their body parts, why wouldn't you be able to kiss after that? Like, that to me doesn't really make sense. Like,
right.
bacteria is everywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? Unless you're like concerned that you have like crabs or something and you're like, nope, don't want to kiss you after that because they're going to get crabs in my mouth. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, what do you have on your genitals that you don't want on your mouth? If that makes sense.
Right. And how am I to know when the last time you washed your hands, was? You want to stick a finger where? Hit the shower, buddy. Like, I'm just saying.
That's a good point. No, that's a really good point. Yeah, exactly. Like the not kissing. And for me, that's like a sign of like real intimacy, is like if we can, explore all the different parts of our bodies together and then like kiss after that, that's a bonding moment. That's a bonding moment. I will say.
They're missing out is what we're saying.
Yeah.
You don't know, exactly. They don't know real love. So so next one is pushing someone's head down.
Oh, yeah.
Like
fuck that.
Yeah, right?
I've had that happen.
Oh, for sure.
Multiple times. Yeah,
for sure I've had that happen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're like, I will get there if I want to get there.
Thank you. Exactly.
No.
Like all that lets me know is that you have an idea that I might not do that thing for you. And so you think that by rushing the process that it's going to make me like, oh, right, I forgot you have a dick that wants to be sucked. Like, no. Or whatever else that's down there that you want me to fiddle around with, right? Like, it's the audacity behind it. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And I'm not saying it couldn't happen in very specific situations or with I don't know. I'm not saying anything can happen at any time, but from past experience, no, don't do that.
No, exactly. Yeah. I've never been in a situation where that turned out well for that.
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe you're having a certain kind of sex and it's a part of it. We're not closing that door. I'm just saying, yeah, from past experience, not cool, bro. So, not reciprocating, going down on each other. So I think, we've kind of hit the reasoning behind all of this, right? Like,
no, exactly. And again, it just comes from that very male perspective of like, and I will say, let's not even just say that, because I have heard women say the similar things like, oh no, like he needs to do that for me, but like I'm not doing that for him or whatever. And to me, all it says to me is that you might be a prude. You might be a prude in bed, because again, there's just so many stigmas on like hooking up, because I feel like when you're with your significant other or somebody that might be a little bit more regular, hopefully, this is just me, but hopefully there is an equal exchange of these types of things, right?
Right.
But if it's just something that maybe you're doing for the night or whatever, sure. If you don't want to reciprocate that, okay, that's up to you. That's your choice, right? You might not be into that. Right. But I do just feel like it's kind of a double standard. Like, so you like to be pleased in that way, but you don't want to please in that way. Like, what is that about? You know what I mean? Like, where does that stem from? Like, what is it about the control that you need to be pleased in that way, but you can't allow someone else to, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. And I was gonna say that it kind of seems like a power move, even between men and women. Like you were saying, if she's saying this and again, these are, hetero stereotypical examples we're using, but right. Just in general, if they are saying one way or the other, then that kind of seems like a power play depending on the partner and the situation. And of course, there's like so many factors that go into that.
Very true. Very true.
But this next one, I feel like a lot of people aren't going to like this one, but we'll see. We'll see. I think Jose will like it. We're calling you out again, Jose. Calling them mommy or daddy. Jose would say zaddy with a Z. But
a real soft Z, zaddy. Like see? Sends chills down your spine.
That's like moist. That's another example. Ooh, yeah.
No, it is. That's one, and he loves it. He just like whispers it. He like when Jose.
He's gonna be so mad at us.
I know, but when he's on the phone, sometimes I'm just like, you realize this isn't a sex hotline, right? Like I called you to have a conversation at 8:30 in the morning. I didn't call you to hear that, like, you know, you sound like John Tesh or something. You know, he's just like, hello, yeah, I am, and I'm like, what is this like soft talking? Like, it's me. You can put bass in your voice. I know who you are.
Right. It's a wispy action, Jose, and we don't like it, is what we're trying to say. But he should be a phone sex operator. I did tell him to actually look into that.
He could do that.
He could absolutely do that. Side hustle.
So
Jose,
right.
We're telling you now.
No, exactly.
Put it on your resume.
Yeah, I can't. I say my P's and my T's too hard, if you haven't realized in this podcast yet.
Apparently, I don't talk loud enough, so... Or I'm going to be too aggressive. I'm going to be like, did you wash your hands today? Or maybe they'll like that. Maybe I would be good at it.
Oh, Morgan is going to be a wonderful dom one day. Or she might be already. She might already be a dominatrix. I don't know. But Morgan could totally be like a fucking awesome dominatrix. Just like, get on your fucking knees and wash your hands. And he's like, oh, not like eat your pussy. And she's like, wash your hands. Did you hear me?
Yeah. That's what turns me on. Washing your hands. Okay. So last one is not willing to try different positions. So I felt like this one is a lot more subjective because it just depends on, is it a one night stand? Who are the, participants? Right. So
yeah, no, I do agree. Especially, one night stands. I also think sexual positions are overrated. I would love to have a real like conversation about this. I don't know if this is going to be a full episode. It might be, who knows? But I do feel like sexual positions are a little bit overrated. I think that that's something, again, stems from porn fantasy, like we've talked about before, because I don't really believe that every time we have sex, or, that every like escapade that we have is going to be like, turn me around, like flip me up and do this and do that. Like,
you're right.
To me, I don't know. It just, maybe I need to work out more. It sounds exhausting. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm like, if I wanted to do squats, I would go in the gym, but obviously I'm not going to the gym. So can we just have sex and can I come? Like, is that too much to ask? I don't want to reverse cowgirl. Okay. I don't even want to get on a horse. So why would I want to bring that activity into the bedroom? Like, I'm not saying I can't try it out or like that. I don't. Now I will say I do like doggy style. Like that's just, I'm just gonna throw that out there. Sure. But that's a much more common position than something like wild. Yeah. Like, have you ever like turned upside down? Why do I want to head rush much? Like, why would I want to turn upside down? Like, I want to pass out now. Like,
who knows what kind of, maybe.
Yeah.
It's Thursday, why not?
But not from not like hot choking. I'm like passing out because like I got a head rush because I'm doing a handstand on the bed. Like, I'm sorry.
You're not going to be able to write on the board at school the next day. You're not going to be able to raise your arms up. You're going to be like, it's video day, kids. Why? Because my arms are sore.
I know. Yeah, exactly. I already have a gym membership that I pay for and don't go. I don't want to bring that into the bedroom.
Truth. Maybe if you start switching it up, you'll start using your gym membership.
I will say that when I was more regular in the gym, I was better in the bed. And I think Ben can vouch for that.
Simone Biles. Yeah, Simone Biles over here was just fucking tearing it up in the bedroom.
No, exactly. No, if you have that kind of physique, I expect you to be doing whatever it is that the heart desires. But yeah, my heart, my slow beating heart over here.
I know. Yeah.
A resting heart rate of 72. Yeah. She's going missionary or doggy, okay?
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh my gosh, that was so fun. So I was wondering how we were going to tie this into, are we doing this wrong? And I was mulling it over and I was thinking of, okay, what are pet peeve horror stories? And this led me down a rabbit hole to an actual short story that I paid 99 cents on Amazon to read. It was 15 pages. It was terrible. I'm not going to give the name because I don't want to, put us on blast. I don't know. But I will just tell you it's about a man who has a kind of very particular way of cleanliness. He goes to this grocery store. He only likes one checkout. And the girl who worked there left one day and, it was his day to go shopping. And it was a different guy there. And this guy was filthy and he just wasn't having it. And so it turns out, he's a killer. It's a lot of buildup and then it's just like boom, 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 everyone's dead. So I don't recommend it, but that was my little tie-in. I wanted to bring it up because I did pay 99 cents. I did read the 15 pages,
Oh my gosh. Whoa. Wait, was this 15 pages like a memoir or like what was like, was this like it was just an article?
No, it was a book. It was a book on Amazon.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I missed the book part. Okay.
It was really bad. So I don't want to like give the details of it. There was a review. There was a review for it on Amazon that was way more eloquent. I was like, damn, you should have wrote this book. So that's my tie-in. At least we're not killing people, or I guess that's our advice for the week. Right. If someone's chewing with their mouth open or calling you mommy in bed, then
yeah, or calling you mommy while chewing with their mouth open, mommy, like that's a mess.
They're probably your child if that's the scenario.
Pet peeve. Children are my number. Oh my gosh. Well, how had we not talked about that? How are children not the number one pet peeve on every list ever made? I am sorry, but
Ryann and I have had this conversation 9 times out of 10, wherever you go. What is there, Ryann? What is there?
Fucking screaming child like that just will not quit. Like I guarantee you, and maybe this is because I don't have children, but I hear like screaming children are nails on a chalkboard for me, right? Yeah. Like that is something that alerts me. But instead of alerting me like, oh, someone's in danger, I'm like, I'm in danger. Like, I'm about to die. Like, something's about to happen to me because this gurgling child is about to turn into the Exorcist and like their head's going to start turning, which, would actually be a lot cooler. I'd actually enjoy that a lot more. That'd be a show to see.
Yeah. So, so don't kill anyone. And that's it. That's our show for today. Hopefully you guys didn't cringe too much from all the different scenarios. I probably rolled your eyes quite a bit, maybe felt a little bit guilty because we know we all do some of these.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right?
Wait, hold on. So I do want to ask, which one do you think, or which pet peeve do you think that you like take part in, like that you are a person that gets on somebody else's nerve because of that reason? Like, which one do you think you do?
Oh, so I didn't put it on the list, but I'm probably someone who corrects people's grammar, or like kind of a know-it-all. And 2, one of them was people who say literally all the time. Yeah, I know. I thought of both of us. I didn't want to call us out, but I guess we probably say it on the podcast. So yeah, there you go. But what is I have a question then to wrap it up. What is your number one pet peeve? Like, what is the one thing, if someone were to ask you on the spot, what is your number one?
I mean, seriously, children screaming. Like,
okay.
And again, I think it's because I don't have children.
Yeah.
Because I know for parents, and like that's obviously that alerts them. Like that's the point. They have to be screaming so that that something's wrong with them.
Right.
Because they like half the time do that when they're non-communicative, right? So I will say that one because it doesn't ring anything for me. Like it doesn't alert like my, maternal instincts. I'm pretty sure I don't have them. I think I have like the instincts of like a fucking polar bear or something. I'm just like, ah, like, where's that child? Like, must die, you know? That's like a like a salmon out of water. I'm like, gotta catch it.
Well, that's fair. Yeah. Screaming children is tough. I would say my number one, if I was asked on the spot, is people who scrape their teeth with their fork as they're eating.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Just, it's cringe and annoyance. It's like all of them. Like my body just, tenses up. I like sprain my neck. It really is a rough one for me.
Morgan turns into the Exorcist.
So I do. I'm the one whose head spins around.
Yeah. She just like loses it. She does. Her neck gets all tight. Yeah. But I will say, this was one like way back. I haven't really experienced this too much, but it was a child doing something. Just children being children bugs the fuck out of me. But I will say one thing. One of my little cousins, like way back when, we went on like a long road trip, and he grinds his teeth. Like he pushes his teeth together, and it makes like that squeaky sound.
Yeah.
Which I never thought that that's what teeth sounded like when they rubbed together. I thought they sounded like kind of rough, right? Like you would think that they sound kind of rough, like back and forth or something. I don't know. But that was one of the most like it was like hurting me to listen to that, because it was just like, I know that that's what it is, and that sounds awful and painful. Like, why would you do that? And they tried to like stop him, but he also was just a child, so he was a psychopath, obviously. And so he was like, and I was just like, why are you doing that? Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, children's psychology, I probably need to understand them a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, maybe not. Maybe I just don't need to have them.
I mean,
that's what that sounds like.
That's, yeah. Very true. Yeah, at least you know. All right, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Am I Doing This Wrong? We appreciate you checking us out every week. Come back next week for another episode. As always, a huge thank you to our awesome interpreters, ProBonoASL. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, review wherever you get your podcasts, or check us out on YouTube for the visual conversation. Yes. Come and hang out with us on Instagram at Wrong the Podcast. And yeah, is that all the good stuff?
I think so.
Ryann, did I get them all?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a pleasure. I really do enjoy this. It brings me joy. Like, sometimes I do get anxiety starting it, just because I'm like, oh, here's another episode. Like, I kind of get in my head about it, but I can genuinely say that once we get started, it's just so nice having a best friend to talk about this on, or talk to about these things, and then share it with the world. That's random, but but it's fun. It's been a wild ride, but it's been super fun. So thank you, Morgan.
Thank you. And thank you guys. And we will see you next week. All right. Bye.
Bye.